This evening I have two new bags. I can only keep one of them. They're very similar. I saw one and it was in the sale, so you know me, sale price, you know, like bees around a honey pot or bees to a honey pot. What do I mean? Bees to a honey pot. Stuffed up nose again, sorry, just, you know, the swelling is still going up and down all over the place. Having a really bad hair day. You know it is some days. Anyway, I sound worse than I feel. I feel fine, I just sound rubbish. By the way, if you're new here, I don't always sound rubbish, but hi, I'm Kaz. I'm 5 foot nothing, literally. That's 152 centimetres in new money. And I have loved fashion for well over 50 years, since I was a teenager, so, you know, 55-ish years. And I still love fashion. You know, I particularly love handbags. I have quite a ridiculous amount of handbags, even though I say so myself, honestly, it is crazy, really. And also, just to let you know, I'm sorting out some bags that I'm going to sell soon, so I might do a vlog sale. I did a vlog sale last year, which went quite well, so if you'd like me to do another vlog sale, you know, I'm totally okay with doing that. It's either a vlog sale or eBay, and if I do a vlog sale, if I sell them directly, then I can sell them more cheaply because I don't have to pay the eBay seller fees, advertising fees, etc, etc. It's disgraceful, really. I mean, eBay used to be a really good place to sell your stuff, and now it's just... I always thought this would be great if it had a shoulder strap. You can see from the size, I mean, this is the 19 because it's 19 across. This one is 26 across, so you can see if I put them together there, or like that. And this one is a little bit bigger that way, but not very much. More or less the same sideways. I need 3 hands at the moment. Anybody got a spare hand? Hand needed. I'll have to have a look on eBay. No, seriously though, I mean, there's not much in it sort of across the ways. This one might be a little bit more, a bit deeper. Anyway, this one, let's get round to the measurements. Okay, so width, whoops, back to front. Width across here, 19 centimetres, which is 7.5 inches. The height is 13 centimetres, which is 5.1 inches. The depth is 6 centimetres, 2.4 inches. And the maximum strap length, oops, I'm sorry, I've got a kink in the strap. Maximum strap length is 92 centimetres or 36.2 inches, and that will be all the way around. The drop is actually, which I didn't say on the website, the drop is 45 centimetres, 17 3/4 inches. So it's a good drop. It's the size, you know, really. You know, my first thought when I looked at it was, I think that's going to be a bit small. Honestly, I mean, why don't I listen to myself? I made a video about 2 months ago called Are You Guilty of This Handbag Habit Too? And I'll put it up there. And it's a good video, and the trouble is, I know all these things. I know that a sale price is not saving money, you're still spending money. And I really should listen. First thoughts, my first thoughts were the bag's too small, and I'm looking at it now and thinking, you know what, I think the bag's too small. It's like when you're at school and you're taking an exam, what do they say? The first answer you think of is usually the right one. Honestly. Maybe I need to go back to school. However, the phone would fit in it. Now this is another thing that I didn't realise. And I don't think this was in the photos of the bag either. I'll just zoom you out a bit. Where's it? Sorry, it's a bit chaotic around here. We're in the bedroom again filming because the living room is just a total tip, because we're trying to move everything around, you know, to get the new fireplace in with the log effect fire, and it's a whole thing, and it's driving me nuts. Right, so, oops, that's probably a bit too much. Okay, so taking the stuffing out, it's got two compartments. And of course you can actually see that at the side, can't you? Now, that always makes the space, do you know what I mean, a little bit smaller, doesn't it? Anyway, standard Android phone, I won't show you the screen because it's filthy, it's got finger marks all over it, it's terrible. Anyway, phone goes straight in there. Now, I don't know how big Apple phones are. I think the new Apple Max something or other, I've totally lost track of them. I'm not an Apple person, but you might be able to get it in here, might not. It's a bit touch and go. If possible, I like to be able to take my makeup bag with me, which, as I've said before, is one of the Kirigami pochettes, the middle size. I love this because it's really flat. And you can put things like your mascara, lippy, you can just sort of stack them on top of each other. And it's really good because it doesn't take up much room that way. However, in this bag, oh no, it does fit in, but it takes up the entire compartment. So you've just got that front one, which has already got my phone in. And now if I wanted to put my card holder in as well, no, that just would not work. The card holder will go in, it is stretching it a bit there. But the phone, no, the phone wouldn't go in at all, so I think that is probably going to be a no. Which is a shame because it's a cute little bag. And I love the colour. The burgundy is beautiful. I think it's showing the true colour on the camera. Gorgeous. I love the gold hardware as well, because this one's got, you know, the silver. I can get so much more in this bag. So unfortunately, I think this one's just too small. I should have realised it looking at the measurements, but I'm absolute rubbish at visualising anything 3D. I cannot, you know, I look at the width, you know, and I often measure my phone, I think, oh, my phone will fit in there. But then I don't think about everything else and the height and the, do you know what I mean? It's really hard to visualise in 3D, isn't it? So I think this one is going to have to be returned. And talking of returns, I was talking to somebody the other day about, you know, buying online and sending stuff back, and they said that they, you know, during the sales and things, you know, and they're buying quite a lot of stuff, they really lose track of what they're returning. And I think that is a really good point, actually, because I tend to buy quite a lot in the sales. I usually buy Christmas presents in the sales, and those I won't show in a video because the person I'm buying it for might be watching the video, so, you know. So I do quite a lot of shopping, but every time I return something, I make a note of it. I note the tracking number, the date, how much, what the return costs are going to be, if any. You know, sometimes they deduct them from your refund, all the information down. And then I keep track of it when the credit comes through, because I think if you don't do that, it's really easy to miss one or two, especially if they're smallish items, and they can really add up. So anyway, just to putting the accountant's hat back on, and a bit of financial advice there. Next one is from My Teresa. I find myself buying an awful lot of things from My Teresa lately. Their prices are usually just a little bit better than anywhere else, and they come really nicely presented as well. Okay, so, and they've also gone over to sort of eco packing now, which I think is really good. I mean, I loved those bright yellow boxes that they used to send everything in, but, you know, once you've got a few of those, you just throw them out, and it's such a waste. So, I mean, I'm more than happy for them to just come in a box like this, you know, and just be presented nicely with a bit of tissue and a little bit of ribbon. Okay, so this is the other Savette bag. Now, this one wasn't in the sale, which is a bit of a bummer, but, you know, you can't have everything, can you? However, it does look substantially bigger, and I knew it was bigger from, I mean, obviously from the measurements, but I couldn't really, you know, visualise how much bigger. And I thought if I could get away with the smaller one, you know, if my basic sort of stuff would fit in there, then I could save myself some money. But best laid plans and all that. This is also wrapped up really well in that. I don't know what this stuff's called, but it is very good for packing. And packing is something I know a lot about because I have moved house so many times. I seriously, until fairly recently, I had totally lost track, and I made a spreadsheet about it because I was just interested to see how many times I've moved, and I'm a bit of a spreadsheet geek, you know, I like spreadsheets. I've got a spreadsheet for all my handbags. Crazy, I know, but look, it's handy for insurance purposes, if nothing else. Anyway, the number of addresses since I left home, I have lived at 31 different addresses. Admittedly, some of those were, when I left home, I probably only stayed somewhere for a few months and then moved somewhere else, and, you know, but 31 times. And I mean, I moved around a bit working in the theatre. I went up to Leeds to work for a season. I went to Leicester for a season, you know, Leicester Phoenix, lovely theatre. Lovely theatre up at Leeds as well. However, I digress. I'm struggling with this. I'm really making a right meal of it. Look at the state of this. I'm not very good at undoing things. Although, in all fairness, I think it's this stuff that is a bit brittle. Right. Oh, goodness, if I have to wrap this one up again, it's going to be a bit of a doozy. Okay, yes. Right, I'm getting there. I am getting there. Okay, it's got another. I said, look at this. Look at the state of this. Honestly, look at it. I'm hopeless. Absolutely hopeless. Let's zoom you out a bit so you can see the bag when I unwrap it. Okay, so it's got an extra bit of padding over the hardware, over the clasp at the front, which is really good. It's good to see that attention to detail. I like retailers that do that sort of thing. They want you to receive something in perfect condition, and when you're paying these sort of prices for bags, you should get them in perfect condition. The other thing with this is, now talking about keeping track of your returns, I don't know how this happened, but after I'd ordered the other one, the one that's a bit too small in the sale, I went to look at the bags on my trays, and I went and checked my account because I was curious, what I bought from them last, and I saw that I had a store credit. And the strange thing is, I don't like, the default thing is just to get a refund, when you return something, which I'd left. I'd prefer to get a refund rather than a store credit. Yeah, and I saw there was a store credit for $877.26 or something, and I thought, well, that sounds pretty precise. I mean, that's got to be something that I've returned, but like I said, I keep track of everything, and I couldn't find anything for that amount of money. Anyway, we'll just keep that to ourselves, shall we? Oh, I'm supposed to be showing you the bag, sorry, because I'm unwrapping it. I'm digressing as usual. All right. Okay, so I think that bit's just tucked under the... Hold on. Oh, this looks better. Right, okay, pop that over there. Okay, so there she is. So let's have a look at her next to the other one. Okay, so this is a small one. This is the Symmetry 19. And this one is the Symmetry 26. I think. Yeah, Symmetry 26 leather crossbody bag. And this is in the colour wine, which, that's the burgundy, and that's the wine. They're pretty similar, aren't they? So look at the back of them without any hardware on. You'd be pushed to tell those apart, wouldn't you, really? I mean, look, it's a whole lot bigger, isn't it, really? Whoops. Oh, sorry, this is where top handle bags really come into their own, because you can just grab the handle and, but it is considerably bigger, isn't it? There we go. These are two. I can put them like that. You can see how much wider it is. And this one is a little bit deeper, and it's also just got one compartment. The height looks the same, actually. Right, so I'm very hopeful about this one. And again, it's got the gold hardware, which I really like and really suits this colour because it's a nice warm colour. Okay, so as I said, this is the Symmetry 26 leather crossbody bag, and this is in the colour wine, which is very similar to the burgundy. This is maybe just a tad lighter, and maybe not quite as rich. Okay, so the width of this is, oh, that's weird, isn't it? Symmetry 26, you think it'd be 26 centimetres across, but it's 25.5 centimetres, 10 inches. The height is, top to bottom here, 14 centimetres or 5.5 inches. And the depth here is 3 inches or 8 centimetres. The length of the shoulder strap, which again will be all the way round, is 100 centimetres or 39.5 inches. And the drop on this is, look, okay, is 19.5 inches or 49.5 centimetres. Right. So height, this one is actually a little bit higher than the other one. The other one was 13 centimetres, this is 14. The depth on the other one was 6 and this one's 8 centimetres. So, yeah, you can see it actually, the depth, it is deeper. Let's move the strap out of the way. I haven't got enough hands to do this video. I need another pair of hands. This is deeper, this one, you know, the larger one. Right, okay, so have a look inside. This is really tightly packed with tissue paper. Now there are some Savette bags in the sale on My Teresa. So let me zoom you in a bit. If you are looking at other Savette bags, but they don't have any of the Symmetry pochettes in the sale. And I really do like the pochettes, particularly the wider ones like this. There's one on there that I really love that isn't in the sale, unfortunately, and it's the mesh one, but it's one of the narrower ones, but it is a little bit higher. And I'm thinking to myself, so maybe because it's higher I could perhaps fit everything in, but no, I won't do it. No, I will resist the temptation. So inside this one we've just got one compartment. There's a long slip pocket at the back. Oops, need another hand again, which I think you can see there. Goes all the way across. So, okay, let's zoom you out again. This is definitely a three-handed video, this one, seriously. I mean, how handy would an extra hand be? No pun intended. So, the Kirigami pochette, makeup case goes in there. Okay. So that goes in there. The phone can go in front of it. And, whoops, and the card case goes down the side perfectly. I mean, these are the minimum things that I need to take with me, really, when I go out. So they all fit in there, and there's room to spare. I mean, I could also get, you know, my little mirror in there, And also this, oops, this little case that's got my business cards in. That will go as well, which is brilliant. So let me zoom you right in and show you. So there you go. Goodness, you can fit so much in here. So this one, I think, is a done deal. Yeah. It's all good. I'm really impressed I can fit all of those things in. So I think this one is the winner. I love this colour. It really is gorgeous. I mean, I know burgundy, although, I mean, this one's called wine, but it's, you know, it is more or less a burgundy. I know burgundy has been a very sort of on-trend colour since last winter. Whether it continues to be so, I don't really mind, to be honest. I mean, I'm never really bothered what colour is in and what colour's out, because there are colours that I like and colours that I don't like. It's like, you know, very big colour for the spring-summer season in the Northern Hemisphere is that sort of yellow, you know, or a pale yellow, that sort of pale buttercup yellow, which looks lovely on other people. Yellow on me is just hideous. It just totally washes me out. You know, it makes me look like I've got a liver problem. That's the bag. I love it. I really like that. It is really easy to open and close, which is great for a more mature person like myself who's got arthritis in the hands, but really happy with that. Of course, it would be the one that was in the sale that, you know, I'll show you that on the shoulder as well, actually. It's in case anybody's looking for a small shoulder bag. It's really nice, and this leather is gorgeous. I mean, really, it is beautiful leather. It's got a gorgeous sheen to it. Love the hardware. Really easy to open. I mean, it's very neat on the shoulder, this one, but it's not big enough for me. However, this one is the Goldilocks one. It's just right. I mean, this would be big enough for me for sort of daytime and evening, which is brilliant. Apart from the fact that this one is more expensive, but that is another thing I haven't told you, is the pricing of these. Okay, so the little one is 2,825 Australian dollars, which is, okay, so just doing a straightforward conversion from 2,825 Australian dollars to US dollars, it's approximately 1,850 US dollars, but you know, duties and tax and all that sort of thing is different in the two countries, so you can't really do a straight conversion like that, but that's a sort of ballpark figure. And they've only got one left in the burgundy. They'll obviously have two soon because this one is going back. The Mitre Razor one is 3,645 Australian dollars. So ballpark figure 2,385 US, but of course depends on, you know, taxes, customs, etc., etc. But that's roughly how much it'll be. And I mean, it's a fair amount of money, but you know, it's certainly not Chanel prices. And I do think something like this, although I think they're still quite trendy at the moment. I mean, they were much trendier last year. They were a bit of an it bag last year. They still seem to be hanging on in there. But if you look at this is just a classic style. It's not going to date. It's just a stock standard oblong shoulder bag. Nice clasp on it. You know, there's nothing sort of weird or strange about the shape or the hardware that you know, you look at it and you go, oh God, that's such a 90s bag, or that's such an 80s bag, or, you know, whatever. So I think it's a good one. You know, buying classic styles like this, they're a good investment. And by investment, I mean that they're going to last you for a long time. I don't mean a financial investment. You won't be able to sell this next year for what you bought it for. So that was today's video. So if you've enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you would. And if you have already subscribed, thank you. It means a lot to me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me. I'll see you again on Friday. And as always, à bientôt mes amis. Au revoir et bonsoir.